Do I trust him? Yes? No. He's just been acting so different lately. I needed to know. So, I decided that the only way I would find out the truth is if I pretended to be someone else. I remember the night so clearly. I was out celebrating my best friend's birthday, thinking if I should get the carbonara or the Caesar salad when I was so deep in my thoughts that I didn't even realize that everyone else had already ordered and were waiting on me. This was when I locked eyes with the cutest boy I had ever seen. He had deep brown eyes that seemed to go on forever and a knowing smirk. I immediately blushed and ducked my head. I was so embarrassed. I would like the Caesar, the carbonara, please? The waiter wrote it down while his smirk grew even bigger. I couldn't help but blush even more. As he walked away, I started freaking out. Why did I order the stupid carbonara? I should have gotten the Caesar salad. When my best friend looked at me and laughed. It's okay, Ellie, you were fine. But I was not fine. My armpits felt like a running tap and I was getting hot. I quickly excused myself to the bathroom. I needed to cool down. However, as soon as I came out of the bathroom, the waiter with the cute smile was waiting for me outside. I was completely taken by surprise when he introduced himself as Marcel and asked me what my friends and I were celebrating. Oh, it's my friend's birthday, I stuttered. He made me incredibly nervous. I didn't even know where to look. He seemed like a really nice guy, and after chatting for a bit, I gave him my number and agreed to meet again. I just couldn't believe my luck. We texted for the rest of the night, talking about our deepest fears and biggest dreams. It felt like I had known him for so long. Everything started to move so fast, and a few weeks later, Marcel told me that he was in love with me. I couldn't believe that anyone could fall so fast, but I loved him so much already that I said it back. We started dating that night and spent nearly every day together in the park. Marcel would always bring me gifts or flowers every time we met. The first few months felt like a dream. I soon found out that he was just a few years older than me and was also in my school. It felt like word had spread rapidly, and soon everyone in school heard about us. We were called the cutest couple, and people would say how sweet we were together. But something had changed in Marcel. He had stopped being affectionate with me or giving me presents. Whenever I tried to text him to hang out, he would say that he was busy and couldn't meet. I was so confused. He had told me he loved me a few weeks ago. I tried to not think too much into it, but something felt really wrong. One day, I decided that I was going to go surprise him. I would bring him dinner and we would go back to being normal. But as soon as I got there, I saw heaps of cars and music blasted really loudly. Marcel was having a party without me? I was shocked. I was so mad at him. I started to think that maybe Marcel was cheating on me. So I told my best friend about it and she gave me an idea. I would create a fake account on social media, pretending to be one of someone else, and flirt with Marcel. So I created the account and sent him a friend request. As soon as he accepted the request, I started talking to him, explaining how I used to go to the same high school and thought he was really cool. We ended up speaking a lot and became quite good friends. That was when I decided I would test him. So, one night as we were speaking, I asked Marcel if he wanted to be my boyfriend, when he said, sorry, I'm not single. I was so relieved by that because I thought that he meant me. Well, the real me. But the next morning, he asked the fake me if I wanted to meet his girlfriend in real life. I freaked out because there was no way I could be at two places at the same time. So I made up an excuse that I had a dentist appointment and couldn't come. So instead, he said that he would send me a photo of her. That was when my stomach dropped. There was a bip on my phone and I quickly checked it. I was expecting it to be a photo of me, the real me. When Marcel sent me a photo of some girl, he then sent another message stating that this was his girlfriend. Girlfriend? She was pretty with long hair and rosy cheeks, and the name Julia was written under the photo. But she wasn't me! Marcel was cheating on me this whole time? I couldn't believe it. How could he do this to us? He told me he loved me, but this whole time he was with this Julia girl? I could barely breathe. The next day at school, I didn't talk to Marcel at all. I was so hurt and so mad by what he had done to us. I didn't look at him at all, and at lunch, he came to me and asked if I was okay. Seriously? He was going to stand there and act like he had done nothing wrong? I wasn't okay, not at all. So, in my anger, I turned to him and said, "Hey, Julia's over there," and pointed at another table. "Why don't you hang around with her?" As soon as the words left my mouth, his eyes widened and his mouth dropped open. It felt so good to see his smug face in shock. He had hurt me so much, and he didn't even care. He was going to drag me along this entire time. I quickly cleared my plate and walked away. I could see Marcel from the corner of my eye. He was still standing there, staring at me in shock. That night, after returning home, I blocked all my contacts with him and deleted all our messages. He tried to call me several times, but I didn't answer. I didn't even want to hear his explanation. I just wanted to move on with my life and never see him again. I'm not going to lie. I ended up crying my eyes out for the rest of the night, and I was miserable for weeks after. But in my sadness, I realized that he wasn't worth crying over. I shouldn't have given my heart and time away so easily and neglect my friends just for some guy that didn't even really love me. In the end, I was grateful for what happened. Because while it did hurt me a lot, I learned so much about self-worth and what it means to be in a bad relationship. Relationships are built and maintained on trust, and without that, they can never work.